Okay, so let's go to the 11th vow. And the 11th vow is actually...
The 11th vow is very important because many people can misunderstood him. So it's important to read all the passages that I quoted there.
I will.
Shinran explanation.
I will,
okay.
yes, this is very important indeed. Yes, the 11th vow. So I will read the 11th vow at once. It says, if when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not dwell in the definitely assured state and unfailingly reach nirvana, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Okay? So remember that the humans and devas in my land is not referring to actual humans and devas. No, remember we said all this, but just to make sure, is referring to the places, the most common places from which beings are born in the Pure Land, which are the higher realms. Yes.
And so those humans or devas are the previous states of existence of those who are now in the Pure Land.
The previous, yes, indeed.
So it's like saying former humans and devas who are now in my Pure Land.
Yes, and we say this because Shakyamuni Buddha himself made this. Like, don't believe that they are humans. I'm only saying this in reference to their previous. Okay?
Yes, Shakyamuni explained that.
Shakyamuni, yes. Indeed. Okay, so according to Shinran Shonin, the 11th vow has many names. It's the great vow of necessary attainment of nirvana, the vow of the realization of nirvana, or the vow of realization, which is Amida's directing of virtue for our going forth. Yes. So this is the definitely assured state that is also called in other sutras and other commentaries by Shinran, like the state equal to Maitreya. Why is the state equal to Maitreya? Because Maitreya, who is now in Tushita heaven, is manifesting himself now as a bodhisattva, but not as a Buddha yet. He will manifest as a Buddha in the future. Okay, even though he's an enlightened being, but he will manifest as a Buddha in the future. In our case, if we go to Amida Buddha's Pure Land, we will manifest as a Buddha in the Pure Land already. But if you have Shinjin, and this is what I will explain through the comments of Shinran, if you have Shinjin, you are already in the definitely assured state by the power of Amida Buddha. So let's try to explain this. So this is on page 209. I will start quoting this. So the first quote is from the Tanisho, the chapter 15. Yes, there Shinran says, according to the true essence of the Pure Land way, one entrusts oneself to the primal vow of Amida in this life and realizes enlightenment in the Pure Land. This is the teaching that I received. Okay, so we shouldn't misunderstand, and this is a very common misunderstanding, and we will talk about this in a future topic of discussion. When you receive Shinjin, Shinjin comes from Amida Buddha, but Shinjin is not equal to Buddhahood. This is very important. When you receive Shinjin, you receive the assurance of being born in the Pure Land after death. Yes, and yes, Shinjin comes from Amida Buddha. Yes, and yes, you will become enlightened, but you are not an enlightened being yet. You have the guarantee of becoming a Buddha after birth in the Pure Land, which happens after death. Yes, there Shinran says it quite clearly. Okay, so then we have another passage here, another quote by Shinran. He says, to respond to your question concerning the cause of birth, at the moment we realize true and real Shinjin, we receive the benefit of Amida's grasping never to abandon us. Hence, we unfailingly come to dwell in the Tathagata's vow. We find this in the compassionate vow, the 11th vow, which states, if when I attain Buddhahood, the human beings and devas in my land do not dwell among the settled and necessarily attain nirvana, may I not attain the supreme enlightenment. Establishing the great vow of necessary attainment of nirvana, the 11th vow, Amida Buddha has vowed that the person who has realized this true and real Shinjin immediately comes to dwell in the stage of the truly settled. Okay? Remember, this is very important because remember that this Shinjin comes from Amida Buddha, and it's not like it's not like a process. It's not something that you work out. Yes, okay. It's not something that you can say, oh yes, I will sit in meditation or say Nembutsu many times and I will make myself believe in. It's not like this. Okay, Amida Buddha. If you entrust yourself to Amida Buddha, Amida Buddha's light will come to your heart, yes, and it will be the gift of Amida Buddha, as long as you keep hearing the teaching. But as soon as you realize this true Shinjin that comes from Amida Buddha, you are instantaneously, yes, like in the snapping of a finger, yeah, as quickly as that, you attain this stage by the power of Amida Buddha, yes. So this is very important for us to understand. So for in our case, as Jodo Shinshu practitioners, if you have received Shinjin, you enter into this stage of the truly settled, of this stage equal to Maitreya Buddha, yes, in this life, yes, when you receive Shinjin. And the attainment of enlightenment comes after, of course, after you die and you go to the Pure Land. Whereas in the 19th and 20th vow, you attain a stage of the truly settled when you are in the Pure Land. Yes, why? Because you are not sure if you are going to be born in the Pure Land. Since you don't have this faith and you doubt Amida Buddha a little bit and you rely more on your practice, yes, even though you have some faith in Amida Buddha, you are born in the borderland, and in the borderland you attain what we attain here in
Shinjin.
Shinjin. Yes. So when you go there, you attain the stage of the truly settled. Why? Because you will never fall into samsara ever again. Yes. But you are not yet enlightened. Whereas if you have the Shinjin of the primal vow in this life, yes, you will attain the stage of the truly settled here, and then Buddhahood instantaneously after you are born in the Pure Land. So let's read another passage here. This is from a collection of passages on the types of birth in the 3 Pure Land Sutras. It says here, the Buddha has vowed that persons who realize this true and real saying of the name and true and real entrusting shall immediately be brought to dwell in the stage of the truly settled. Dwelling among the settled is also thought to be attainment of the stage equal to perfect enlightenment. Attainment of the stage equal to perfect enlightenment is thought to be the attainment of the same stage as Maitreya Bodhisattva, who is in the rank of succession to Buddhahood. Thus, the larger sutra states that such a person is next to enlightenment like Maitreya. Okay? So here, Shinran is clearly explaining that if you have Shinjin, you have attained this same stage. Yes? Because Maitreya, who is now dwelling in Tushita heaven, will surely become a Buddha in the future. He has this, let's say, this is settled for him. Yes, he will manifest his Buddhahood in the future for sure. And if you have Shinjin of the primal vow, and you have received the gift of Shinjin, you will surely become a Buddha in Amida Buddha's Pure Land. The difference is, of course, that Maitreya Bodhisattva has attained this stage of truly settled, of this stage of being assured of manifesting Nirvana in the future by his own power. Yes, this is the difference between Maitreya and us. Okay, we, on the other hand, have not attained anything alone, but only through the power of Amida Buddha is that we will attain enlightenment in the Pure Land. And this assurance of Shinjin comes from Amida Buddha himself. Okay, Shinran Shonin also says in the Matosho, yes, in letter 3, this is in page 211, he says, only they differ, the terms truly settled and equal to enlightenment have the same meaning and indicate the same stage. Okay, so these are names for the same stage. Okay, equal to the perfect enlightenment is the same stage as that of Maitreya, who is in the rank of succession to Buddhahood. Since persons of Shinjin will definitely attain the supreme enlightenment, they are said to be the same as Maitreya. Okay, so we are the same as Maitreya in the sense that we will also become Buddhas. Yes, surely, because this is guaranteed by Amida Buddha himself. Okay, in the case of Maitreya, this is guaranteed by the stage that he himself has attained. Yes, remember that Maitreya Buddha, according to the larger sutra, is an enlightened bodhisattva. Okay, he has already attained Buddhahood, but he's not manifesting, at least not in this world system, as a Buddha yet. He's manifesting himself as a bodhisattva in Tushita heaven, and he's now preaching the Dharma there. Okay, to the Devas. So, as Joshua Sensei says, it is clear from the above passages that the definitely assured state or the stage of the truly settled is, in our case, a state prior to perfect enlightenment or Buddhahood. Such a state is equal to enlightenment in the sense that enlightenment is surely to be attained. So this is very important to understand, because many false teachers, and this is a very sophisticated heresy, yes? It sounds true, sounds good, no? You say, oh yeah, Shinjin is enlightenment. You say, so I'm enlightened or something. This is not true, yes? They don't want to accept that the Pure Land exists and that you attain it after you die. Yes, this is something that Shakyamuni Buddha said many times in the larger sutra, and we should clearly understand this. When we receive Shinjin, we achieve the assurance of attaining Buddhahood in the Pure Land. Okay, and this is important. But the true, let's say, the true objective of Shinjin can only be attained in the Pure Land, because the objective of Shinjin is to bring you towards Buddhahood. Yes, you cannot attain Buddhahood here in samsara, at least not according to the Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. You see? So Joshua Sensei says here, and this is also in page 212, if he's not in the Pure Land now, and we are not in the Pure Land now, I mean Maitreya, it logically follows that the stage in which Maitreya and the people who entrust in Amida now dwell is a stage to be found before birth in the Pure Land. And this can also be found in another passage of the larger sutra, in which Shakyamuni Buddha talk about many bodhisattvas that will be surely born in Amida Buddha's Pure Land. Okay, so that means that Shinjin is something that is attained in this life and is the guarantee of a birth in the Pure Land. We can also see this in another passage, which I don't know if it's here, but in the larger sutra it is said that those who joyfully have a joyful moment of entrusting to Amida Buddha, they receive transcendental merits instantly. Yes, only by thinking of Amida Buddha. Okay, so this is the fulfillment of the 18th vow, or the teaching of Shinran Shonin. This is in the section 22 of the larger sutra. Okay.
So as I said, for the people of Shinjin, the first part of the 11th vow is a promise for this present life, when the first moment of faith appears in our heart.
I'm sorry, Sensei. I think I lost you for a while.
I said that for the people of Shinjin, the first part of the 11th vow is a promise for this present life, when the first moment of faith appears in our heart. That is the first, yes, that is the promise about dwelling in the definitely assured state. That is a promise for this present life for us people of Shinjin.
Yes, according to Shinran Shonin, there are 10 benefits of being born in the Pure Land and or having Shinjin.
This is one among them.
This is, I think, the 10th benefit in Shinran. The 10th. Yes, and we will also explain this in a future discussion, all of the 10 benefits, because they are very beautiful and they are worth discussing in detail. But this is the 10th benefit, and this is a very important benefit. Also, here in page 213, you also quote another passage. Let me find the passage here. This is from the Pure Land Sutras. It says here, sentient beings who are born in that Buddha land all reside among those assured of nirvana. The reason is that in that land there are neither beings who are destined to adverse conditions nor those whose destinies are uncertain. Okay, so even though you are born according to the 19th or the 20th vow, you will dwell in this definitely assured state, or this stage equal to Maitreya, but this will be when you are residing in the borderland. But for people,
those people in the borderland are not in the stage of assured of nirvana due to faith. They are in a stage of being assured of not falling into the lower limbs because they are in the borderland of the Pure Land, but they don't have faith yet. So for them is not exactly the same stage of assurance like for us, who know that we will attain enlightenment. They first need to receive faith, to clear their doubts, receive faith, and at that moment, in the very second, people born in the borderland receive faith and cleared all their doubts. In that very moment, they enter the stage of assured of nirvana, and they also attain nirvana.
Yes, indeed, Sensei.
By going to the center of the Pure Land.
Yes, for them it's a little bit different. Thank you for clarifying that. Yes, for them it's different because when they are in the borderland, they are assured not to retrogress. Yes.
To not fall in samsara again.
Not falling in samsara again, and they have.
But not yet assured of enlightenment, because they still need to clear their doubts.
Yes, they need to entrust themselves to Amida Buddha. Yes. And as Joshua Sensei says here in the page 214, in the first paragraph, we enter the Pure Land as beings that already reside in the definitely assured state. So since beings who have already entrusted themselves to Amida Buddha have Shinjin, you already carry that Shinjin with you to the Pure Land. Okay, which means that you don't have any adverse conditions to overcome. You don't have any doubt in Amida Buddha. So as soon as you go there, you are benefited by the 48 vows. Yeah? So you are benefited by attaining enlightenment. Whereas if you carry within yourself some doubts, you attain this stage of not falling into samsara again. However, you still have these adverse conditions that prevent you from behaving like the enlightened bodhisattvas in the center of the Pure Land. Why? Because you still have doubts, as Jodo Sensei says. You still have doubts that need to be purified, let's say. Purified by being in the borderland, yes? But in our case, since we as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, we don't see the Pure Land as a university or a place to go there and practice very hard. Like, for example, in Tibetan Buddhism or in the Chinese Pure Land school, where they teach you that you should go to Amida Buddha's Pure Land to practice the Mahayana and to overcome many obstacles. They see it like this because they conceive that the Pure Land as the borderland in our conception. But for Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, and according to the teaching of Shinran and Shakyamuni, the center of the Pure Land is a place of immediate enlightenment. Is the true fulfilled land, fulfilled in the sense that it is the land in which enlightenment is attained. Yes.
So we people of faith who are now dwelling in the definitely assured state or the stage of being assured of enlightenment, we go to the Pure Land carrying with us this definitely assured state and this stage of no retrogression. And when reaching this Pure Land, we automatically become Buddhas. This is the mechanism. Yes.
Yes. Here, Jodo Sensei also uses the analogy of a seed. Yes, which is an analogy like it's very poetic. I really love it. So we are born in the Pure Land carrying this seed in us, which immediately transforms himself into the tree of enlightenment. What is this seed? Is the seed that Amida Buddha plants in us, which is Shinjin, that comes from him.
And that is also the stage of definitely assured of nirvana and stage of no retrogression. Yes.
Yes, this Shinjin is the, Shinjin has these 10 benefits. And one of these benefits, as we have explained, is the benefit of being in the stage equal to Maitreya. It has many names, no? The stage of, sometimes when I was studying the sutra, I got confused, but please don't be confused. These are many terms from the same stage. The stage equal to Maitreya, the stage of the truly settled, the stage equal to perfect enlightenment, the stage of non-retrogression. So there are many words that describe the same state, which is the state of being absolutely sure that you will attain Buddhahood in the Pure Land. So that is the difference, okay? So basically, to summarize, for Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, this definitely assured state is attained in this life and Buddhahood in the center of the Pure Land. For those who practice the 20th and the 19th vow, they attain not this stage, but when they arrive at the borderland, they are sure never to fall into samsara ever again. In that sense, they have some sort of stage of non-retrogression because they are sure they never will fall into samsara ever again. However, in the borderland, they will expiate or purify their doubts in Amida Buddha, and once they entrust themselves, they will attain nirvana as those who follow the 18th vow. Yes.